Alright, so now, like we were talking about before, two portafilters, both bottomless, but a little bit different, you know. There's going to be, the hole patterns are, look at this bottom here. You see this better in the sunlight versus this one. Well, actually, in the camera, they look a little bit, you could tell, maybe you could see this one's a bit on the coarser side versus this one's finer, especially on this end. You can't really see me through it, but this one, you can sort of see through it, yeah. See that again. Yeah, see this one, it's harder to see through it, where this one's a little bit easier to see through. So, yeah, that's the difference between the baskets. But that's kind of not, for this video, that's really kind of neither here nor there. I think we're going to see some potential problems coming up because of the basket in these next shots. But let's have a look. Flush the group head, of course. Good practice. Lock and load. And then we want to start brewing. As you can see, when you're using the portafilter, the bottomless portafilter, you can really see how the whole shot, you know, operates. So it kind of comes together. We're looking at these two streams, right? One of them is flowing really smoothly. The other one is just kind of dripping, right? Oh, now they come together. So that's normal. At some point, the streams will come together and form into one. All right. So what you're looking for here is that you're looking for potential problems in your espresso. Now we're going to look at the puck. As you can see right there in the upper right-hand side, looks like there could be some channeling, but not too much. Also, one thing, let's look there. Also, if you look at the screen, the dispersion screen, you can see that it's a bit dirty, and that dirtiness is one of the reasons why we do flushes between our shots, especially after we finish a shot and then before we start again. We want to make sure that there's no coffee residue like that left on the dispersion screen. So that's that. And so, like I was saying, what we're looking for with a Naked Portafilter is we want to see, are there any problems with our distribution, and that will come apparent. Typically, when you see problems in distribution, that will manifest itself with streams shooting out separate than the flow of the coffee, and it's pretty apparent. It gets kind of messy, and you can't really, you just see it, and then we'll look at the reasons why that happens as we go. Okay, so the next video, let's go to 620. Oh, that's nothing. So 621. Got a better angle now. We're looking really up at the dispersion screen. So dispersion screen's clean. And insert the portafilter. Start brewing. As you can see, it's kind of shooting off. Now notice there on the right side where it's really blonde of the portafilter, of the basket, you can see that streaming. Oh, look at that shoot. It's shooting out. Gosh, it's kind of like fire hoses coming out there. Now again, we're also seeing that the two separate drips, they may come together. There's a third one starting. A lot of this is just messy because, well, there's that problem. As you can see there, it's really blonde in that right-hand side. Clean. You're seeing on the left-hand side, it's much thicker, a lot more crema. And so this is, look at, even now we're taking the angle looking at the cup. I mean, it just looks terrible, terrible. So something is wrong, and let's have a look and see what's going on here. I'm going to pull that portafilter down. Okay, let's look at that. Okay, oh, let's get a little better angle. Okay, so look here on the right-hand side, right by the handle, you can see there's a big gash, and that gash is pretty much the channeling happening. And if you look at the rest of it, it looks clean, right? It's nice, good impaction, you know, good impression from the screen. It's really kind of what we're looking for as far as our overall puck, dry good clean impression of the screen on top of the coffee puck, but that gash really is where the water is exploiting the weakness of that puck. So basically what's probably happening is that we're not getting the proper amount of distribution back here, right? So really you need to pay attention to getting a good distribution of coffee across the basket, and we're trying to make sure that the coffee bed is going to give even resistance, right? Remember, it's about resistance to the water. So the water is going to follow the path of least resistance. So wherever you have a weakness, it's going to exploit it. All right, let's move on. Again, flush it out. Lock and load. And here it comes together. Looking pretty good. Let's get a little bit tighter on that. Oh, there's a little bit of shooting out. That's not the greatest. Yeah, it's come together now into a single stream. Now you can see how see that extra like sizzling, the steam that's coming from the shooting of the from that extra channeling. And also if you may notice, going back to it, if you notice that as the time goes by, we're talking in the other video about the stream becoming blonde, we could see in this particular video that the stream was getting much more blonding. You could see the blonde as it develops. But now let's look at the puck. Okay, good. The puck looks pretty good overall. It looks like we've got some relative even resistance, but notice this from the last one. The last one had very clean impression from the screen as well as the dispersion screen screw. This one does not. This one is a lot more like the surface of Mars, very wet, very fluid, very kind of muddy looking. And also, again, let's look at that corner right by the right-hand side next to the portafilter handle. Looks like there could have been a little bit of channeling there. So putting this together, looks like we're seeing a little bit more of a pattern. That meaning that the channeling seems to be happening because we're not getting enough distribution right there by the portafilter handle. So as we go along, we have to make sure that we're covering that part of the portafilter, or that part of the basket, to get proper coverage of the coffee. All right, let's continue on. All right, the dispersion stream is clean because I flushed between the group heads. Now we're lock and load. And here we go. Now that's looking good. It's coming together well. A little bit of flow fast, then it holds back a little bit separate. Now it's come back together. Good, good, looking good. Oh, there's you can see the there's still some more channeling happening because you can see that stream just shooting out. And now it's pooling on the side of the portafilter. Look at that. Ooh, my gosh. And so look at that. Look on the right side. It's just blonde. Left side is dark. Right side also has just nothing because of the jet stream that's coming out. So again, we're having more problems with distribution in that part of the region. Let's look at it now. And yeah, again, we're seeing it right in the same place. So this is something that as you're pulling practice shots or doing your thing, as you take your shot, look at your puck in the portafilter and see where's the problem spots and are you developing a pattern. So in this particular set of videos or set of shots, we're seeing a pattern that we're not getting enough coverage here, right? So we need to make sure that we're getting around to it. Coming together nicely. It's retarding a little bit. Let's slide in a little bit closer. Look at that. So we're seeing that blonding on the right hand side again. Man, and it's starting to shoot out a little bit. We're still seeing that channeling happening. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. And it's not always just a constant stream. As you can see, it'll just shoot out once in a while. That's always a bit frustrating and irritating if you're trying to dial it in. So this is why we do a lot of stressing with our baristas to practice the technique. All right, let's have a look at the puck. Again, soupy, but still on the right hand side, there it is. Still more channeling. And the channeling that we're seeing is just always right there. Always right about here. Somewhere in that region. We're just gonna have to pay more attention to how we're distributing the coffee in the basket. Flush that out, good, make sure it's nice and clean. Lock and load the portafilter. Now we're moving to the commercial one with the VST basket, and that one got a little bit loose, so you can see some of the, again, there's more shooting out there on the right hand side. Why? Because it looks like our weakness is right there. That's where we're getting under extraction. Look at it shooting out. It's coming up pretty fast. Not too happy with that one. So like I said, we're using the manufactured portafilter rather than the custom modified one. And again, there it is on the right hand side. Soupy and holes that are showing channeling. So again, as we go along, we want to look at the puck and then figure out, hey, this is, evidently it's not working. I need to work more into that spot. All right, let's move on. Lock and load. Make sure it's really tight so that it doesn't have any leaking. This is looking pretty good. Look how it shows up. Everything's evenly dark reddish brown crema. It's a slow pulsing, slowly dripping. It's getting faster, 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 longer, faster and longer. Good, good, good. Soon it'll start to become a full stream. There we go. On that one side, and then they're going to come together. Look at that. Now we're starting to see a little bit more blonding as a natural course, so that's when we need to stop. Good. All right, let's have a look at the puck here. This one looks like it was probably the best one so far. Yeah, look at that. It's a little bit, not as much an impression that we'd like to have, but there is no divoting, there is no channeling happening, and we could see that already in the Naked Portafilter from the basket, that everything looked pretty solid as far as the extraction goes. And yeah, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. All right, let's move on to the next one. There we go, lock and loading. Bam, bam, bam. And coming together. Oh, that's coming really fast. Well, it's splitting up a little bit there. But we're not seeing blonding, we're not seeing any shooting, so that's good. There's a little bit, actually, see that little drips on the side of the portafilter there, the basket. So there's, it looks like right there in that little section, there's a little tiny stream that's wetting the sides. So that's, let's see if we can see it here in the puck. It's really kind of soupy looking, muddy looking. Can't really see it. Maybe it's kind of right there on the upper right hand side. Could be a little pinhole. But certainly not as bad as it has been earlier. The next one coming up.
What's up, chef? Hang on one moment. Give me 1 moment.
All right, there we go. Pulling it together. Yeah, that looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Coming together. Yeah, a little bit at the end there is getting a little bit wonky.
Yeah, making YouTube videos.
All right, let's look at this. All right, so still a bit on the soupy side. We're not getting a lot of compaction on the puck, but the shot itself looks pretty good. So yeah, it doesn't look. I'm getting a nice close up. Yeah, that looks all right.
I'm a little
Could be better. Our next shot's going to be this example of one that's just really gone awry. You know, we're making an Americano, and yeah, let's just look. So here we go. Lock, load it, and now we're going in with the cup. Let's position the camera. Here we go. Oh, look at that. It's just coming out in all directions. I mean, just look at that. It's so, it's just terrible. Just look at it. Look at it. Dripping, shooting, pulsing. Oh, man. Just an embarrassment. An embarrassment of an embarrassment. Yeah, just letting it run its course. Yeah. Needless to say, we did not serve that shot. So, all right. What are we looking at next? Now let's have a look at the portafilters that we were talking about before. As you can see here, this is the older basket, and you can really easily see through that one versus the VST basket, which has much tinier holes, and you know, just as a better performing basket. You can see here next to each other just the difference. I mean, it's quite apparent. You know, the older baskets just are much larger, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's a Naked Portafilter. It's a worthwhile investment if you have especially if you have an extra one lying around that you're not really using. Chop off the bottom. It'll give you a new perspective on your techniques and how you can improve your espresso. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing really bad to say about it. I mean, it's great. Like I said earlier, I can now use this and put a cup underneath it, a taller cup. Now, some cups, of course, won't fit, mainly because the physical limitation of the machine itself isn't tall enough to allow some of the taller glasses, but this will allow pretty much most any 12-ounce paper, 16-ounce clear plastic will fit under here on our La Marzocco Linea, and it just makes from a production standpoint, it's a great tool. From a training and learning standpoint, it's also a great tool. Works on both ends, so you can either make your own like this one, like we showed earlier, just drill it out, file it down, or you can go out and spend the money and buy a machined version. Either way, it's a good tool to use and to have around. And the other side of it is, you can also pop this out, use it as a looking glass, and if you really decide that, hey, you know what, one day I'm going to go buy this, you want to get one of those measuring devices, you can use this instead of having to buy a whole nother portafilter. Just plop the unit in, lock and load, and then you can measure temperature and pressure. All right, that's it for this time, and on Troubleshooting Espresso. Next time we'll get more into other aspects. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments below. If you have suggestions on show ideas, or if there's topics that you'd like for us to cover, or you have anything you wanted us to talk about, put those in the comments as well. We'd like to hear from you. What else is there to tell you? You know, of course, like the video. That's very helpful. Subscribe is even better. You know, more subscriptions means that we can do more. You know, there's a whole hierarchy of YouTube stuff happening. If you subscribe, click the bell so that it'll give you notifications of whenever we put new videos up. But we're putting up videos pretty much twice a week, usually on Wednesday and Wednesdays. And what else is there to tell you? Come to our website, sprocoffee.com. We've got all kinds of coffees, really great coffees. I buy them myself, go to the farms and find them. And what else do other YouTubers say at the ends of their videos to entice you to do more? Yeah, come visit us in Hamden. We're there on The Avenue and 36th Street, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We've been there during this whole COVID time, and we'll still be there for a while to go. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for this time. Thanks for tuning in. Hope this helps, and see you later.